some savings for future retirement, but don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? How often are you thinking about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies in the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident in your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website and give us a call at 860-430-5397. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. JPEX Financial Group, LLC is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. JPEX Financial Group is located at 78 Eastern Boulevard, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Welcome.
Hey.
We're back. We had that nice long intro. I didn't realize how long it was, but it was long.
I was
It was
like,
longer than what I thought. I was like, okay, I'm here rushing. I kind of start doing all my wonderful texts and messages, try to get people on the show, but somebody came on. Look at that. Yo, 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 look who it is.
oh
And
my
Padilla
goodness,
himself.
stranger.
Yeah, so it's one of those. Oh, you're gonna see what's up. There's a lot up. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Listen, for your sake, I'm not gonna talk Trump today, so we'll leave it at that. But you know what? I realize that. That's going to back what I was saying, right? That's an extra long intro because they gave me time to do everything, and I'm here rushing, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go, and next thing I know, oof,
It's still going.
it's still going, and I'm done. So go figure. Hey, look, thank you for coming out. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. You could catch us on all the streaming platforms or majority of the streaming platforms. All right. I mean, we're definitely all over social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I think there's something else, but I don't even know. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. So you know what? Come check us
Google.
out. Google, yes. I think we're even on Pandora. You know,
Mm,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. I think so.
But come check us out. Come check out Clovercrest Media. We have over 30 to 40 podcast shows over different different things all over the place. But hey, share us with your friends, your enemies, your frenemies, your lovers, your ex-lovers, whoever you feel is necessary to get a little bit of speaking it real. And then you know what, just go ahead and share it because that's all we're about. You know. So, anyways, how's your week been, Anna?
So far, so good. Today's my Friday. So work was great. Of course, couldn't sleep last night, so I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning. Had about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of sleep, but I still made it through, and I'm here today.
Perfect, perfect. Hey, look, we have today's one of those days where I was uncertain if I was going to do a show or not, and I gives me a call. Hey, should we do a show? I was like, hey, you know what? Sure. Let me just go ahead and pull some stuff together. And I got stuff together. We're going to talk a little bit about terminal ill patients, um,
Jen,
transgender treatment, when you should receive it, when you shouldn't receive it. My brother's favorite person, Ron DeSantis, or Satan, as I call him. You know, and military service. I think that was one where I saw it and I automatically thought of Anna.
because I am a
And
proud Army mom.
you are a proud army mom. You know, so it was one of those where I was like, well, let's talk about this, and here it is. Should every 18-year-old citizen be required to provide at least 1 year of military service?
Yes,
Okay, why?
I say yes. I say yes because after seeing the change in my son, how it made him more disciplined, how it made him stronger as a person, and how it made him want to do more with his life. I
Hmm.
think I think if he wouldn't have joined the military, even though last year I wouldn't be the proud military mom that I am today, um, I I just seeing the change in him. I think if he wouldn't have done this, that he probably would have went down a different road, and who knows where it would have went. I think a lot of kids don't have guidance out there or don't know what they want to do with their lives. And I think they should experience the structure that the military gives everyone.
Right. Uh,
Looking back now, if I were 18, I think I would have liked a lot of that discipline because I was just too everywhere crazy. I think I
well,
would have stayed more focused on my goals.
well, my brother's not a DeSantis fan, but anyways,
Since two
I'm
minutes
gonna,
ago? No.
yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you that even me being in the military, I don't think the military is for everybody, and I don't think that everybody needs or should be required to join.
I
And
Do you think because of females and like female and male? Because honestly, I wouldn't want my daughter to go.
no,
However, I'm
no,
glad that my son went.
no. I think that if you're going to continue higher education, let's say I'm in school, right? Um, I graduate and I decide, okay, I'm not going to do college. That would be the time to go, which is essentially what I did. It took me a couple years. I mean, I graduated what at 18. I joined the military at 21.
Like Christian.
Right? No, Christians followed my path. You know, and and I think that if you are getting a higher education, you graduate, you're going to college. You know what? There's no need for you to join the military. But if you decide at 17 years old, hey, I'm going to drop out of high school, all right, or do whatever it is, you know what? Then I think you need to join the military.
Yep. Because
You know,
what are you gonna do? What kind of job are you gonna get?
well, this is what happens. Okay, more than likely, these individuals that drop out of high school and And really, hold on. I think that it just depends on the person and each respective personality. It does, but the thing is that this is what's happening. You have these kids that are graduating high school, don't want to do nothing else with their lives, don't give a shit. You got to give them some sense of responsibility, right? Now,
Right.
is the military made for everybody? No, it's not. Okay, and I think that the biggest problem that you might have here will be that if you make everybody join the military, that doesn't really have to. You're gonna, I think you're gonna see a lot more people attempting to do attempted to commit suicide just to get out. You're gonna play that crazy paper. You're gonna play that mental case to get out.
Yeah, but they have to quit making then they need to offer more mental health, which they should be doing in high school, is offering mental health programs. Like it should be like your English or your math. You have to go through therapy, through mental health class instead of just regular health class. What do these kids need to learn? Sex. They need to
Well,
learn mental health. They already know how to have babies. They already know how to
well, yeah. I mean,
jerk
you can
off
YouTube it
and
at this point.
exactly. So why not, instead of doing sex education, do mental health education?
Well, I think they got to do a little bit of both. Combine them.
That would be,
Combine
yeah.
them.
I like that.
Because we're looking at, you're looking at these kids that are not going to school. They not do anything. Nothing
Exactly.
will.
But if you force them to
Could it
go to the military, don't you think there would be more people that would look for an education?
definitely? I think you will have that, and that's the enticing part of it. You know, you have individuals like, I mean, like, look, myself, I'm one. I didn't want to go to college. I attempted it, and I was just like, this shit ain't for me at all. I joined. I was infantry. Great. I had the time of my life. What did I get out of it?
What did you get? I would say you become a stronger person.
Right.
You've become more responsible.
Hmm.
You and responsible in all sense of the word. But mostly, I mean, your self discipline.
Okay.
And I think it gave you actual goals. I think if you would have never went to the military, I don't think you would have been as structured as you are right now, which I admire a lot about you. Because let's face it, dude, we were all over the place before.
All right. So let's see what my brother tells me here. It also helps with school if you enlist and then get a higher education with the GI Bill. Also, it may give a student the discipline to get through college. They might not have had that discipline coming out of high school. Okay, so l- let me speak on this. It also helps with school if you enlist and then get a higher education from the GI Bill. All right, so the GI Bill, the GI Bill, you could use it while you're in, I believe, and I know you could definitely use it when you get out. So if you do the military service and you decide to get out after you do, 1 year, 2 years, okay,
Per year, yeah.
all right, whatever time it is, you have that money there, so that pays for the education. Now, I'm gonna, I think you said yes, I said no. Right now, watch this. What happens if you have, and we're gonna use your daughter, just
Okay.
for conversational sake, right? Your daughter graduates high school. She wants to go to college. You guys cannot afford college, right? And let's say we have this rule that if you're not going to college, you have to go to the military. Then what do you do?
Well, but even though we can't afford it, she can still get student loans. She can get a Pell Grant if we don't qualify
Hmm.
financially.
Hmm.
She can apply for, if she really wants to go, she can apply for all kinds of scholarships. And if I think if the child knows ahead of time that they want to go to college, then they need to prepare that for that senior year to start getting all those scholarships. There's so many scholarships out there for people. There's ones that are on your race. My dad worked at General Motors. There's a General Motors scholarship. There's isn't there a Cuban American
I don't know.
scholarship? There's a Mexican American scholarship. There's an Indian scholarship. There's, depending on what you want to do, there's all kinds of scholarships you can get. So I
Hmm.
still think there's a way to do it, whether the parents can afford it or not.
Yeah, there might be. I mean, you pose a good point there. Huh. Trying to share the show and I couldn't share it. I don't know why. But
And nowadays you could do a whole bunch of GoFundMe's.
let me tell you something. I don't play into that GoFundMe stuff. I
But
don't. No. That's just. I don't trust in who's going to be using that GoFundMe page.
true, but what if they came up with something that was similar to it, but just for school? And how many people, I mean, they have work programs. They have a lot of, like when I worked for the
Hmm.
credit union had where they would pay for your school as long as you continued your education and you had to maintain, say, a 3.9, I think it was the lowest. Or it was something like that. But they they encouraged you by reimbursing you, but you had to maintain those good grades. And then you had to say like work for a year or two with them afterwards. And of course your salary is going to go up and things like that. But
That
like
works.
like when I lived in Mexico too, you had to do like if the government paid for you to go to college, say to dental school, to medical school, then you had to do your say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, de servicio,
Hmm.
and then you
Right.
start getting your pay and everything. But you're paying back basically with your time instead of your actual funds.
Okay. All right. So now moving on. Now we're going to stay with our children and the government, right? Because it's one of those where just came about. So, should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases?
No, the government shouldn't tell me as a parent who is taking care of my child what I should or should not do with my child. Now, if they want to pay to support my child, then they can have a say while I'm still working.
I don't think they have any say so.
They shouldn't have any say so.
If I mean to me, if like I give you, I think with let's say with COVID, right?
Hmm.
I vaccinated Alex at that time. I made the decision. My brother agrees with us. No say at all. Like I mean, I vac I got my son vaccinated just for the simple fact that he, as a younger child, because he's a child, right? He did have the respiratory illnesses, so he kind of just had issues when he was little.
Did you ask him if he wanted to get vaccinated?
No, that didn't matter to me.
See, both with both of my children, I've asked them if they wanted to get vaccinated. I got vaccinated, even got the booster because after I saw what my mom went through,
Hmm.
elderly person, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, thank God that all the elderly people in my family have somebody to take care of them. Like I took care of my mom. But what about the people that are out there that don't have anybody? That was my main concern for me
No,
getting the
right.
vaccination. Now, however, Christian got his vaccination. And again, if Ariana wants to get it, I have no problem taking her to the doctor to get it.
I mean,
Like,
I think. I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but I think that a child to decide that needs to really do the legwork and the research.
I agree.
And
But at the
okay,
age, okay, so how old was
so
Alex?
no kid wants a shot. I think that their answer will always be no. And I agree with my brother there. No kid at any age wants a shot. I think what
Exactly.
Alex is 14 years old, so we're talking about what COVID. When was it I got COVID? I got COVID a year ago. I must have had the shot maybe in 2022. No, 2020. As a matter of fact, hold on a minute. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to tell you when I got the shot. My last shot was May 16th of 21. That's when I got it. And that's roughly when Alex got it. More or less around that time frame. Okay, now, so we're talking about 21, 22, 2 years ago. Alex was 12. You know, we are speaking for younger children. Right, but what's younger children? To me, between the ages of 12 to 15 years old, you're still young. You're not going
Yeah,
to do.
you're still young, but I think you can communicate with them to
You can, but the
let them
problem is
have an
this.
opinion about it
Okay, right, but what are they going to base their opinions on?
on the facts.
They have to look at it. They
Like
have to look at it, right?
exactly. But as a
Okay.
parent, I think we need to lay that out. So even Ariana, she sometimes has trouble with her chest, breathing, things like that. So would I recommend that she gets it? Yes, I want her to get it. And I would lay it out to her the in this way. I would say, listen, Ariana, COVID, she saw what COVID did to grandma. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, she couldn't go to the bathroom, she couldn't do any of that stuff. But a lot of people who've had COVID also can't breathe, and this vaccination could help you because of your issues that you've had in the past with the shortness of breath and things like that. Now it's
Well,
up to you whether you want it or not.
well, you see, in my case, Sarah, I was not going to let my child dictate that. I didn't care if he wanted it or not because at the end of the day, I'm the parent. And maybe
Okay,
I'm
mister, I
wrong,
don't
but
like religion.
you're absolutely right. But in that case, it's one of those where I know his health issues, okay?
Does he know his health issues?
And that's the thing. I don't think he really knew the impact of his own health issues. So at that point, it's like, no, you know what? I'm making the choice for you. You're going to get it. I know my health issues. And the only reason why I got it wasn't because of my health issues, was because of work.
Hmm.
I was like, well, I got to work. And with
Exactly.
all in all, if I would have known, you know, what I know now, I would not have gotten it. And I would with him is an iffy. With him is iffy. But for me, I would not have gotten it because I saw it really when you look at what COVID is, and we're going kind of off the subject here, but when you're looking at what COVID was, and it affected a lot more of the older generation.
Hmm.
Okay, the older generation were the ones that really got sick, that couldn't do a lot, that passed away. It also got younger people. Don't get me wrong, but it
And
got
a lot of them had health issues.
a lot of health issues.
Yes.
So I mean, my
Look here, she is right here. Let's ask her right now.
go ahead
Here
and
she
ask
is.
her.
Okay,
Ask her.
Ariana. So would you want to get the COVID vaccination?
No,
Why?
like shots.
No, okay, but what
There you
about
go.
if okay, you don't like shots. That's fine. That's coming from her own mouth. Come down here so they can see you. Okay, what if because of your trouble breathing and things like that, that COVID could affect that, and the vaccination could help prevent that, like death and things like that? What would you think? Other than it just being a shot, it would be something to help you in the future while everybody's still understanding it. How would you feel then?
If it helped with like my breathing or something, like with my health, I guess yeah. But like, wasn't like COVID like passed on? Is it gone? Like just
No, COVID's still around.
okay.
So, but would you rather have your own decision on whether to get it or not, the way mommy just asked you? Or would you rather like it, would you like it more if I said you have to go get it no matter what?
How do I have me do like my choice?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Love you too.
But again, what was her answer at first? I don't
Her,
like shots.
I don't like shots.
My brother put it perfectly. No kid likes to have shots.
But did you
None of
see
them.
after exactly? Nobody like I don't like shots either.
But then
But
she finally said yes, correct?
but why did she say yes? Because
Because you broke it down to her.
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. When you sit there and you break it down to a child, then okay, they're gonna make a rational decision. But you cannot leave that decision to a child. Okay, you can't, because the first thing, without them doing research. Notice the key word was without them doing research. The answer is no. Like I'm trying to get Alex over here a minute.
Yeah, I want to hear what he has to
I
say.
want to do this. Hold on a second. He's not wearing a shirt, but I'm trying to get him to wear a shirt.
Oh, that's okay. We can see him. Bow, chicka, bow, now. No, I'm just kidding.
Because I really, it's a good topic, and it's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
You know, just to see what he
What
says.
he would say. Yeah.
Right.
I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, NNI conducting a survey, right? It's about we're doing vaccinations, and we're gonna say COVID. I know you got yours, okay, but if if you had your chance, ven pa acá. If you had a choice, okay, for to take a COVID shot right now to get vaccinated for COVID, what's your answer?
How big is COVID?
What do you mean? No. COVID, bro.
Okay, but COVID ended.
Okay, no, but that's not what I'm saying. If you had your choice to get vaccinated, would you get vaccinated?
But COVID hasn't ended yet.
Look over here. Why not?
I don't know. I just wouldn't.
Why won't you?
Because I won't.
Why?
I don't want to be vaccinated.
Because you don't want to be vaccinated. Okay, so now let me break it down to you like this. You had health problems as a child. You had pneumonia. You had breathing issues as a child, and COVID affects all that. So for it to save your life, would you take the shot?
If it saves my life?
Yeah, it's gonna help you.
No.
No, it's
Well,
so you rather die.
No. I'll stay alive.
So would you take the shot?
Yes.
Okay, get out of here. Have a good day. Thank you.
I'm wearing my shirt like this in game.
I don't care.
You actually don't?
I like the shirt. I like the shirt.
Yeah, it's just football shirt. So again, when you ask a child that doesn't have any background, answers no. That
Yes.
is why I said I'm going to make the decision for him, and he's going to get the shot. Now, taking this back to the original question at hand, should the government require children to be vaccinated? I absolutely disagree. They should not. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I don't get vaccinated anymore. Like I said, I did the COVID. That was the first vaccination I got in over 20 years. I don't give him any other vaccinations either. You know,
Right.
and that's that. Because to me, it's the government should not decide what I do with
Exactly.
myself. But now, the government in Florida is deciding to ban foreign purchases or foreigners to
To
purchase land in Florida.
hmm.
Okay,
Now, is it foreigners with that are American citizens, or is it foreigners that are undocumented?
let's see how you take this. DeSantis signed bill. Which bill is this? Okay, all right. He signed the bill into law, noting now he called on his state legislature last year to build on efforts to combat corporate espionage and higher education sabotage carried out by Chinese Communist Party and its agents. State Bill 264, referred to as interests of foreign countries, will prohibit government entities from contracting with foreign countries and entities of concern, and restrictions conveyances of agricultural lands and other interests in real property to foreign principals, which include the People's Republic of China and other entities and individuals affiliated with that country. Chinese citizens. So, Bill 864 referred to agreement of education. No, that's not it. Hold on. So here it is. Florida is taking action to stand against the United States' greatest geopolitical threat. In this case, the China Communist Party. DeSantis said, "I'm proud to sign this legislation to stop the purchase of our farmland and land near our military bases and critical infrastructures by Chinese agents to stop sensitive digital data from being stored in China." The move comes as lawmakers have passed measures targeting foreign countries of concern such as Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, Syria, Venezuela. So, in essence, what we're doing is we're stopping people from other countries that come in just to buy land.
Okay.
That's, in essence, what's going on here.
Well, in that case, after hearing that, because at first I was like, well, if they're undocumented, I could see where that would be an issue, but yeah, having these foreign countries just come and purchase property and not work and pay taxes and give to the United States, give back to communities, things like that, then I don't know. I don't think they should. Because look at what happened with 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
were letting the ISIS people come and teaching them how to drive planes and working in higher positions. And I mean, do we want that kind of threat again?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, these people were 9/11 were also citizens. So,
Mhm.
you know,
But isn't that what you just read say that, or didn't you just say that they companies from buying or them from buying but not living here?
from buying, from buying, from buying in certain areas, right? Obviously,
I don't think they should. I don't think anybody from Anybody should be buying super close to our bases.
I think anybody should. I think our bases need to be a little bit more secluded,
Yes.
but they're
Secluded
not.
and protected because, I mean, yeah, no, there's too many anti-military and yeah, no. I agree. Especially more now that my son's in the military.
Right. You see now that, given the fact that he's in the military, you see your view on a lot of things change.
They do. That's for sure they do.
So, okay, hold on. When you look at the foreign threats, you look at the country like China and their ambitions. One, you got to recognize. July 1st. You see, and this goes into effect July 1st.
Hmm.
So, this bill targets foreign countries of concern, which include Russia, Cuba, Iran, North Korea. Puts the biggest spotlight on China, carving out language specifically devoted to how legislation applies to its government and those concerned with it. You see, but now you have Chinese people. Chinese protesters tell Florida lawmakers' bill threatens their American dreams.
What
So
American dreams? So what are they contributing? Like, what are their American dreams that we don't have American dreams for?
I'm sorry, say again.
I said, what are their American dreams that are being stopped? Like, what are they contributing back to?
I mean,
Because
look,
I
I
mean, I'm not
think,
saying that all people, but a lot of them are contributing to their own people.
and I think that's where the problem comes. Okay, and unfortunately, okay, yeah, and unfortunately, you have the good and the bad, but you're generalizing them. You're putting them all together.
Okay, so let's put it this way. So can we buy from those countries? Can I go to China and go buy land over there?
I don't know.
Well, I
Probably not.
think that can I go to Cuba and buy land?
Definitely not.
Can I go to I know in Venezuela there I probably can't buy land.
No, I mean, in most of these communist countries, you probably can't buy land.
So then,
Okay, but watch this. But I could go to Spain and buy land. Right.
but they're not a communist country.
Right.
They don't pose a threat towards us. But if you think about it, what about us and our kids that were born here?
They can, because they're American citizens.
Because we're Americans.
Oh, let's see. Have you seen the info on TikTok? That shit is scary. These countries are axis of evil. We need to protect our asses, or we're going to get screwed. And in the end, we gave them the tools.
The tools. Yeah, I agree with Carlos on this one.
Carlos, elaborate on TikTok because I don't know what you're talking about what you've seen on TikTok.
Send us
Because
a link.
yeah, because I really don't know what you're looking at TikTok. To be real honest with you, because I see TikTok and I mean I could kind of let me not do it there. Hold on. Here I mean TikTok. Let's see if I'm able to do what I want to do right now. Let me see. So let me see. Maybe this works. Share screen. Oh, I think it's going to work.
Oh, we get to see the video, the TikTok.
I mean, this is all I see on TikTok. That's a TikTok video. So Carlos, let me know what you're talking about.
My husband and I, we go to Florida
I
every
mean,
single winter. We live in
Keys.
Now what you want to do?
So-
I want
Exactly.
to. This
Now
is what I
what?
want.
so I don't understand. It's a Chinese app, and they're collecting all kinds of data. This what? Disguising it
Disgusting.
as a fun, disguising it as a fun app. Okay, let me ask you a question. What kind of data are they getting, Carlos? Because the only data they get off my TikTok is stuff that I post from my show. Where are they getting the data from? I mean, here, look. This is all the data they see from me.
But pedophiles are basically doing the same thing. People on the black market.
I mean, this is all they see from me. I mean, you want to collect my show data? By all means. Hey, fuck you, Chinese. I mean, really? It
And
doesn't
share
really
it,
matter.
please.
Please share that.
You want my
Well,
bad credit? Take it.
I mean,
Pay those
what is
fucking
it?
bills.
Google Biden TikTok ban. Okay, so what does Biden have to do with it? Is what I don't understand. Okay, Google Biden TikTok plan. They emboldened in your phone.
They embed.
Oh, and they embed on your phone. Okay, speak English. Embed what? They go through my phone, and the government does that anyways. So what's the difference? They do it through Facebook. What's the difference? That they're Chinese? The fuck again? What the fuck are they gonna do to me? Are they gonna put a bomb on my phone?
Ooh, are they gonna put it fans only?
I mean, are they gonna find my OnlyFans account? What?
Right? My old porno videos I sent my husband.
Biden and Congress want to ban TikTok at this point. It may be impossible. As the federal government escalates, a few weeks.
Well, there's a lot of other things they should ban, like Discord and
Dude, there's
lot
a
of
bunch of
stuff.
stuff that seems to be banned. Okay, all right. So let's get off fucking DeSantis nuts because we're done with it. So we got a banning of TikTok now. All right. What is the Chinese government getting from my phone? Okay, they could embed my phone. Why would you want the Chinese to do it? Why do I want the United States to do it and they do it also? So what's the difference? Again, what are they going to find on my phone? Tell
I have
me.
nothing to hide, right?
What are
If
they
my
going to
dad,
find
if,
on
if
my
my
phone?
dad were alive, I'd be confident enough to show my dad my phone. Why can't somebody else see it?
It's not that. There's nothing on my phone. That what? Okay,
Credit
you're gonna
cards,
you're gonna see that I have football pictures, kids playing football.
or that I pay my bill and that my electricity bill is $400, or that my cell phone bill was close to $700 this past
What
month.
you want to go through my bank account? By all means, go for it. Take all the money out. You know what? Tomorrow I'll have it right back in my account.
Exactly. FDIC and CUA.
And CYA. I mean, to me it doesn't matter. It's one of those where it's like, okay, why would you? I'm sorry, but I think this question is just ridiculous on your end. Why would you want the Chinese to do it? Does it fucking matter? You know, to me, it doesn't
We're
matter.
buying everything anyways from China. Everything is freaking made. They took everything out of the United States and sent it to China. Now that we buy everything from China, now the government wants to put their foot down because the Chinese are screwing the government over and screwing us over.
Mhm.
And we still buy everything made in China.
You
I
know
don't
what?
know.
Look, watch this. Watch this. You see this, right?
Yep.
What's this? The fallen soldier, right?
Right.
Right. Carlos, are you looking at this? I want you to see this, right? You see it, right? Now watch this. Oh, it's blurry.
It's blurry. Scoot back a little bit. It says made in China, though, doesn't it?
It says made in fucking China. It's made in China. So again, we go back to. Well, let me see if I can open up the other. I have two cameras here, so let me see if this one works. Hold on, let's see. All right. So I just changed cameras a minute.
Scoot, go back slowly. A little bit more back. Nah, it's still blurry. But I can see it. I can see it on the very bottom.
Right. It says made in
How
China.
come we don't do Hecho in Mexico anymore?
I don't know.
Because they want to build the fucking wall. Yes. But how many of those people celebrated Cinco de Mayo?
A lot of them.
Exactly. And who packs the restaurants? Thank you. But it's the same thing with all the restaurants. Chinese restaurants, who packs the Chinese restaurants? You want their Chinese food, but you don't want them here, you know? You want our Cuban food, but you don't want us here.
Of course. I mean, that's the way it normally happens. So,
yep. You're damned
way,
if you do and you're damned if you don't. I just don't think that anybody should be allowed to buy property that is around military bases.
I agree. So this one's gonna poke something on my brother, probably. I don't know.
Oh, we like to poke Carlos.
So, should people under the age of 18 years old be able to receive gender transition treatments? Who decides that?
I want to see Carlos's first.
I think it really doesn't affect ordinary people like us. But what about the government officials and people who have information on their phones that is sensitive? Well, let me tell you something. And this is going back to the other topic in a minute because I'm going to fix this real fast. If you have sensitive security information on your personal device and you're a government employee, you're breaking the law. So, once again, us ordinary people doesn't matter. But if you're top security people and you're government in this United States and you have sensitive security information on your personal device, guess what? You're in the wrong. Because I will tell you this. When I worked at the airport, for a long time I had two phones. I had a company phone and I had a personal phone. The minute I decided to have one phone, I gave my company the right to go through all my stuff on the company phone. And I gave that up. So, again, if you're a government official and you have sensitive information on that phone, guess what? You're in trouble.
It's your own fault.
Okay? Like my company laptop. I have my own company laptop. Right? What happens if I go and I watch porn on my company laptop?
Then your company's going to know you are not working.
Okay?
They're going to know that you are
not even whether it's on company time or not company time.
Exactly. They're going to know you play with your instrument. I don't have to be on
company time. Listen, I've done shows on my work laptop. I've listened to shows on my work laptop. Does that get me in trouble? It can. It can. So again, if you're a company, if you're an official, if you're a government official, guess what?
Yep.
Have your personal phone. Don't have sensitive stuff.
Yep. That's like
So
even when I worked at the credit union, we
yeah.
weren't allowed to go to certain things on the internet. They would block it out. I got, when was it? When we were going to go to Florida and I was pregnant for Ariana, and all I put in was, can I fly when I'm X amount pregnant? So many months pregnant. It flagged right away, but there was something in that, what I read on that page that was going to send a virus to my computer.
Right.
So since I got that, I was like, even now that I'm back in the dental field, I don't even go on the internet. Not for my own personal stuff.
Right. So going back now to this question, we're done with the other topic now.
Okay.
So should people under the age of 18 years old be able to receive gender transition treatment?
I would say no. I think you should be an adult, and I think a perfect example is Jazz. Is that her name? Yeah, Jazz from, I think it's TLC.
Okay.
And she had the reconstruction done. And I read somewhere that it was something that she kind of regretted now. Not that she regrets who she is or whatever, but like actually doing that surgery at the age that she did it.
Okay. And what age did she do it at?
What age? I think she was, I'd be lying if I tell you what age. I can look it up.
I'll say, so Carlos doesn't think so. I kind of figured you weren't going to think so, but I kind of conflicted on this one
Mm-hmm.
because I think that if you're under 18, okay, and I think a child knows their sexuality, okay,
Hold on
in
real quick.
their
Sorry to interrupt you. She was 11 years old
okay, all right. You see, I think that's too young.
when she began to transition.
I think that's too young. I think if a child is about 14, 15 years old, maybe not 14. I would venture to say 15 to 16 years old. I think at that point they know what they want in their life. I think at that point they're pretty sure that, hey, I like this sex, I don't like that sex.
Yeah.
And I
But
think at that point they feel that, that's when you know that, hey, I'm in the wrong body.
I personally think they should be 18 only because, I mean, it's okay for you to still be what you want to be, but then you're kind of condoling for younger children to have sex. Like,
Not think so.
why can't they just be
They're
who
doing it
they are?
anyways.
But why can't they just be who they are until they're at that right age, like mentally?
But
Because what?
who says that at 15 years old they already know who they are?
If they can't buy a freaking pack of cigarettes and they're going to smoke anyways, unless they're 21, how are they going to be able to do something so drastic as changing your sex? I did see I saw this on the internet a while back, and it was a girl that transitioned to a boy that transitioned back to a girl because she wished she wouldn't have made that decision at such a young age.
Okay, but I think those could be probably few and far in between.
But she still transitioned. That's why
So
I'm saying
okay, so 18 for gender reassignment surgery. I will say that it takes balls to cut it off. It's expensive as shit. Okay, so
let them have their own money to pay for it. Did the insurance pay for it? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't think so. Now, I think to start receiving treatment is one thing,
Like hormone treatment?
right? Okay, and to start receiving and to do gender the reassignment surgery is another.
I agree with that.
Okay, because I'm okay with if you're 15, 16 years old, you're saying that hey
You don't
dad,
want
you know
facial
what?
hair.
Right. I don't want this, I don't want that because eventually I'm gonna turn myself into the opposite sex.
Right.
Because I this is not who I am.
That I can
Okay.
see, but having the actual sex change
No, I think that has to be as an
as
adult.
an adult, I
As an
agree
adult.
with that. I agree with
I
that.
think you need to be an adult to have a complete sex change. Just for the
Yes.
simple fact that that number one should not be that decision should not be
Up to a parent. It should be up to the self.
correct. It's theoretically not up to the parent, okay? It's up to the individual, right? It's up to the
Right.
individual to say, hey, I want to have this. And then the parent is the one that has to say yes or no, right? If they're minors. And I just
Right.
really think that that's not for the parent to say yes or no. It's because at the end is something. If that child later on comes back and says, "No, you know what? I fucked up. I didn't want this surgery. Mom, why'd you do this? Why did you
Why
agree
did
to
you
this?"
let me? You're an adult. You're my parent. You're supposed to tell me what's right or wrong. Exactly.
To me,
But the hormone,
you want to start having the hormone treatment. By all means, go for it.
because that's reversible, right?
I don't know if it is or not.
It
I don't
should
know.
be the hormone
You know,
because if they give you more testosterone, then you'll be more manly. If they give you more estrogen, you'll be more womanly. However, if you start taking, say, if I started taking more testosterone, then my boobs would shrink. I'd start getting more facial hair. I'd start getting a deeper voice. And then if I
right?
decided, you know what, I don't want this anymore, then I start getting more estrogen, then
Hmm.
I would convert back to a girl.
Probably, probably. But I don't know. That's just to me. That's I mean I think it's an open and shut case. You know.
Yeah.
So this one's our next topic is here should terminally ill patients be allowed to end their lives via assisted suicide?
I don't think it should be assisted suicide. I think it should be choice. A terminally ill patient should have the right to decide whether they choose to live or not.
Right, but that's why it says via assisted suicide.
Right, but
Meaning,
I don't think it should be called assisted suicide. You know what I mean? But I
okay,
think that's probably because it comes down to the religious part of me, where suicide would be considered not being next to God. You know what I mean? Because that's the biggest sin. That's why I don't think it should be called assisted suicide.
okay. So what do you think it should be called?
Assisted death?
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
Suicide's when you kill yourself.
Okay, and death is when you die naturally.
I choose to die.
Okay, but if you're terminally ill, and it's going to be a long process.
I told my kids that if I were to get like my mom, just put a pillow over my face. And
Your kids are not going to do that.
I know they're not, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to live if I knew that I were going to be sick. It still wouldn't be suicide. It's my choice to live or die.
Right. But the thing is that you're ill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no timeline. There's no timeline, okay, to your death
Do you know why they give you morphine when you're dying?
to alleviate the pain,
So that you can just die in peace.
right?
So just give me morphine until I die in peace. Don't give me
Right.
any treatments. Don't give me anything.
That's fine. But you know what? It could be between 1 day to 5 years.
No, but when they give you those morphine things, the morphine helps you die regardless.
Again, but here's the question: terminally ill, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be
Terminally ill.
terminal. We just don't know when.
Right.
Okay. So if you have no pain, they're not gonna give you fucking morphine. Okay.
If I tell them I hurt, they will.
They might not. You have to be ingresado in the hospital. Okay. I know an individual. Okay, where their dad was it their dad? I'm not sure if it was their dad or their mom was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They said, hey, you have 3 years to live, minimum or max, right? The guy lived 5 years. Okay,
Was he in pain?
I don't know. I don't know if he was or not. I didn't really ask all that either because I just don't. I don't talk about that.
Well,
But
I can tell you from personal experience, when my dad was in the hospital with the liver,
mhm,
I thought he was asking for me, and he was telling us yo quiero morir,
of course,
but he was mumbling, and I thought he said yo quiero me,
mhm,
and he like bursted out, I want to die. At that point, I think I would have. That's when I had to come to terms with, doesn't matter what I want.
mhm, right,
He's in pain, obviously, because he never wanted to die. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Nobody wants to die, but if you're in that much pain, then yes, I think, yeah, they gave him the 2 doses of morphine, and next morning he was gone.
right.
But he went
The
peacefully.
morphine didn't, right. That's what the morphine does.
Right. And
Okay,
I
but
would rather him go as peacefully as I saw him go, even though death is not, it's not fun to watch.
no, it's not.
But considering how he could have went, I'm glad that he wasn't in that much pain.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in this case is yeah. I mean, I think people should be allowed to end their lives via assisted suicide because at the end of the day, you're gonna do it one way or the other, right?
Exactly.
And I knew somebody that they gave me a call and they told me that they were gonna stop taking their meds, stop using his oxygen bottle because he's like, I want to die. I don't want to live anymore. And I remember speaking to him. I'm like, are you crazy? He goes, no, I'm tired of taking on my meds. Okay. I want to say guy lasted a week and a half, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Gone. Gone.
But it was his choice.
It was his choice.
Right. And I think like when it comes to family members, friends that you really care for, things like that, I think we become selfish as humans and want them around to ease our own pain and our hurt from losing that loved one instead of honoring what they, the person that's going through the sickness or terminal illness, because we don't know what it is.
No,
I'll never know what kind of pain my dad went through because he didn't show us very much because he didn't
no,
want to scare us.
no, he did not
But
at all.
I can guarantee you that it was a lot worse than what. So that even though it was hard for me to accept in the very, very, very beginning when the doctor told me he wasn't going to live anymore, it was hard for me. And I went to my higher power and I prayed. And my satisfaction was knowing that or understanding that my prayers were answered, even though they weren't the way that I wanted them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what eventually what he wanted. So that's what happened. That was his course in life.
Right.
So, and I think, but the very first instinct was, no, he has to live forever. I don't care if he's on a machine the rest of his life. I need my dad there. What good would that have done to have my dad as a vegetable?
Not at all. No, I hear
Rotting
that.
from the, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't think it should be called suicide. I think it should be like death by choice, or or some
I mean,
other
tomato,
name.
tomato, tomato,
Yeah.
tomato.
And
I,
like I said, the suicide part comes in based off my religion.
right. I think that's just a religious thing there. I mean, to me, death. If you kill yourself, whichever way you do it, is suicide. I mean, if you choose to die, whichever way, um, to me, it's you're choosing to commit suicide, right? If
Hmm.
I like that guy that I spoke about earlier that said, "Hey, I no longer want to live," he decided to commit suicide. That's not that to me is suicide. You don't, and I think this world kind of forgets what suicide really is. It's not because it's not someone grabbed a gun and they shot themselves. That's not the only form of suicide.
Right.
You
I
know,
think
so
that's probably a big stigma as well.
right. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, whichever way you look at it, you know, I'm in agreement with it. You know what? I'm terminal. I don't want to put my family through pain. If you could
Exactly.
have told me I got 5 years to live, all right, no problem. I'm gonna live 3 years. Okay, living the best life I could live. And if that third year I'm going downhill, you know what? Get rid of me. Get rid of me.
Yep.
I don't care what they said. The minute I start going downhill and I start losing quality of life, you know what? Bye. Close the door.
Yep. That's the way I feel too.
Because if I can't have an assisted living or an assisted suicide, guess what? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because I won't live like that. At least that's
Right.
me. Whether I decide to jump off a bridge,
No,
okay,
see, I wouldn't go that far. I think I would just not take my medicine or decide
right?
not to do treatment
Mhm.
and just, that's it. Just give me morphine
Yeah. Well, see how that goes. You know.
and take
So
Oxycontin.
hey, you know what? You always can just take a whole bottle, and you know what? You're gonna be gone eventually. You know, gonna be gone. So we'll see how it rides. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts?
I just think that the government shouldn't be butting in with my kids. Um, I don't think people should be able to buy properties close to the bases or government buildings or things like that. I like what my daughter's school is doing, the more safety that they're having now. But other than that, I mean, I don't think it should be called assisted suicide.
Listen, whatever you
Choice of
want it
death.
called,
Choice of death.
choice of death. That's fine. I mean, whatever you want it called, whatever it's gonna be called, it is what it is.
We
All
should make
right.
something and invent something that's called like bye-bye juice.
You forgot Doctor. What is it? Doctor Death. Kevorkian, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
He died, I think, last year. But you know, whatever you decide to do, however you decide to do it, that's on you. You know, um, you want to join the military? By all means, go for it. Should you be forced? No. Um, the government is the government. The government does not dictate what goes into my body. Okay, foreigners buying land, depending on their status. You got to look at their status and how long they've been here.
And do like real background checks of their history back in their countries.
Yeah, no, you could do that. Hey, look, and for you youngins out there that you feel like you're in the wrong body, okay, take a deep look at yourself before you decide to do any type of surgeries. Because once you do it, it's going to be hard to come back. Especially if you're a guy. If you go snip,
It's hard to ever feel the same.
and again, I'm not against it. Your body, your choice, you do what you want.
Right.
But just really look at it on what you want and how you want to do it. Think about things twice. Just make the decision once.
Yep, I agree with you.
So with that being said, you might agree with what we're speaking. You might disagree with what we're speaking. But at the end of the night, or at the end of any day, it doesn't really matter. All right? We here. I'm trying to look for something. There we go. No. We here on Speaking It Real will always speak it real to you. Catch you guys next week. Thank you for joining the show right now.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you're back next week, or if not, I might have Carlos back. Hey, and to my brother, hey, good job today. You didn't piss me off. I'm fucking proud of you.
Yes.
Proud of you. We actually saw eye to eye on some things. But hey, catch you next week.
Bye.
Speaking the Real Podcast. Vamos a mandarle ahí a Speaking of Real Podcast. Oye, ¿te enteraste del nuevo podcast? ¿Cuál es? De Speaking Real. Speaking is real, normal. Oye, mi inglés está malo, pero Speaking is real es lo mejor, mi hermano. Vengo descargando de antemano para que sepa. Si tú quieres un podcast bueno, mire Speaking, que se respeta. Para que lo sepas, están duros y le meten. Speaking real, pana, no hay billete, pero sí hay talento para demostrar. Y cuando estemos arriba, todito vamos a ayudar.
Thank you for watching. Speaking with You is brought to you by Clovercrest Media. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. See you next week.